system keeps me sane. What I think will happen is vastly different to what the system tells me to do. And like opinions, as with arseholes, everyone's got one and they're usually full of shit. So let's let the system do the talking today. I sometimes find it funny that what I think will happen is vastly different to what the system tells me. So the system literally keeps me sane. And the three things we're going to be looking at today is why the SPX bull swing is back after looking like it would fail, and what 7,500 unlocks for the income trade. How Uncle Russell is tied to the overlapping ranges, and we've basically merged them into kind of one clean area now. And crude oil, Bitcoin, and yesterday's premium popper payoff. Let's take a look at the charts. So the snap view of the stock indexes, again, they look a little bit different. Again, we can see that, again, not much has changed in fairness. That's the thing when you're looking at the daily charts, constantly over time. They change in small increments, but basically the S&P is at the upper range, end of the range, pushing to the lower. NASDAQ is now at the lower, potentially going to push to the upper, or we're going to be assessing for a breakout move. The Dow and the Russell, they're a little bit harder to read. I'll reevaluate these on tomorrow's briefing. We can see gold's grinding out, volatility is just yo-yoing back and forth, remains elevated, and Bitcoin and crude oil are looking. Let's look at the specifics in a bit more detail. So the S&P, again, this remains bullish, and interestingly, it was looking like it was going to fail again. We can see that the system has flagged up a bullish trade. We've got the add-in, which increases the confidence score, and it was looking like it was going to fail this fairly point, the purple line here. And in the overnight markets, we can see the market is gapping higher, about 40 or so points. So that should take us back to, assuming that holds overnight, about this area here, the 74.80 level, around about the open. So pretty much where we opened yesterday. And if we can climb to above that 7,500 level, then that's going to offer me up the opportunity to lock in some profit on the income trade. We've got a little bit of time decay in favor, so a little bit of a favorable push, and I can probably lock in a risk-free trade and basically transform it from one type of option trade into another, which is something that we'll be exploring in our live trading calls. Uncle Russell, I've tied the overlapping ranges up that we looked at yesterday and just basically called the whole area one consolidation zone. Interestingly, now that we've done that, we can see that the tag and turn software is highlighting a bullish trade from the range lows to the range highs. So that aligns with the 6 money making patterns philosophy. So there's no conflict there for the moment. So basically looking for a bullish trade, from the range lows all the way up to 3,000, which is the range highs, and then we can assess for breakouts. Over on crude oil, we can see that, again, despite the gap high trade lower, in the main session it pushed higher again, and we can see that we are holding that breakout for the moment. A move above $84, and I think we'll see a fast move up to 88, which is what we looked at yesterday. Lastly, but by no means least, Bitcoin is, again, it has been grinding in this range. We are pushing out of that now, so let's call this a breakout, and we just take the height of the range, add it to the breakout point, and that gives me just over 69,000 as a breakout target. If that does fail and we go back basically below the rising upper channel and the view up, so let's just call it 65.5 for now. If we do go back below that level, then a push down to around about 63 in the range low does make sense there. So we've got some each way trading opportunities on Bitcoin should the breakout fail. Getting back into the short-term trades, my premium popper paid off yesterday with the first and third breakouts. By lunchtime, profits were locked in. We had what essentially is a risk-free Batman trade, and you'll see why in a moment when we look at the risk profile graph. But what we have here is we've got our opening range software. We had some great scoring for the day. Classic breakout, pushes lower, and again we have the third breakout. It just teased me in there, sit through a retracement as it comes back to retest the lows. We can see that, again, with the time decay, the time has passed because it's an income trade. We don't really need direction to be profitable with this trade. We just need to not be wrong. So yes, we sat through retracements, but ultimately we locked in some profit on that as well. So we can transform the credit spreads into a risk-free situation because we've got two of these next to each other. Sometimes this is called a Batman type trade because you end up with these Batman ears or pussycat ears. Or you can see that the risk profile is completely above the zero line, so there's absolutely no way that this trade can lose. And if we do have a crazy rally back inside the profit tents, then again we can have some more money. So locked in 200 on the challenge account with the potential up to 700. There's no risk on the trade, and this was just with the first and third breakouts done by lunch. We talked about these trades live on the group call at the time, just showing step by step how these trades are constructed or these trades are transformed more specifically. And as a result of that, obviously, we get my students to produce the results. So, well, Don's got a 50% return, Bill's got a 50% return, Chris got the first and third breakout, as did Richard. Mary had 2 wins, James had a lazy popper win, so a slightly more relaxed version of the same trade. So it's just great to see the members and the students just consistently pulling in profits on a daily basis. So well done, everyone. Even if you didn't mention in the group, but I know many of you messaged me privately as well. So well done, everyone. And that's it for today. So happy trading. Less brain and more gain is really the lesson. We don't really need to think too hard when you've got a robust, mechanical, proven, systematic approach that finds, filters, and sorts opportunities. So again, less brain, more gain. And if you'd like to know some more about this, there's links in the description, and you can learn some more about my collecting morning income and then collecting weekly income, day trade and the swing trade opportunities. So if you're interested, I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.